Welcome everyone, this is the PlantStock channel, and if we haven't met yet, my name is Jesse, and on this channel we cover everything plant-based related, especially companies and stocks. Today we're going to take a look at Beyond Meat's expansion into China and what possibilities there might be for the future. Just a few days ago, they released their first product in Shanghai, only at 5 restaurants, but folks, that is only the beginning. As many of you might already know, Beyond is planning to build not one, but 2 factories in China's eastern province, Zhejiang. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation on that one. And that will, of course, be used as a springboard to expand further into the country. Now, China is a country that consumes a lot of pork. For that very reason, Beyond Meat has decided to create a special pork version for the Chinese customers. Obviously, as a nation, China does consume a lot of meat. And what does that mean for companies like Beyond Meat trying to expand into the nation? Well, that is what we're going to cover tonight, guys. So please stay tuned. In recent years, the Chinese consumers have shown a larger interest in eating less meat. Like so many others here in the Western Hemisphere, they have also become more health conscious and careful in regards to what they put in their bodies. The negative consequences of eating too much meat has not eluded the Chinese people, and therefore the allure of eating more plant-based foods has become an ever-growing market. And in highlight of the wet markets acting as a potential hotspot for Rona outbreaks, people are ever more seeking out new and interesting ways to add protein into their diverse diets, which could potentially act as a springboard for Beyond Meat and their different products, and most likely will, in my opinion. In today's China, it's not always easy to stick to a fully plant-based diet. Even if the typical Chinese cuisine is filled with a wide range of plant-based options, most meals do contain meat. This shouldn't be mistaken for Chinese people eating more meat than the average American or European. Nonetheless, the meat is mixed into many of their meals. They do have plenty of vegetable dishes, but they often tend to be flavored with meat, which makes plant-based living a bit more tricky. The vegan movement is on the rise in China, but in many places, several people don't yet understand it. This could lead to it being kind of difficult to order a plant-based meal in an ordinary Chinese restaurant. This is, however, changing, especially in larger cities such as Shanghai and Beijing. If you use the search engine dianping.com, kind of like Chinese Yelp, and type in these symbols, Chinese for vegetarian restaurant, you'll get hundreds of results in Shanghai and Beijing. Before China's Reformation in the 1970s, and before the nation started to open up more, meat was a luxury few families could afford. During thousands of years, the common Chinese families would eat tofu instead of meat, since it was a much more inexpensive form of protein being made by soybeans. This has been, and still is for many, a cultural phenomenon that eating meat is synonymous with greater wealth and well-being, although that is usually not the case. Those who had experienced starvation and malnutrition were also the ones who believed this to be true, and that idea would later carry on to younger generations. When China started getting a larger middle class, meat was definitely on the menu, and people started to consume huge amounts of it, not realizing the detrimental effect it has on overall health. Historically, China used to have low cases of cancer and heart diseases in comparison to America and Europe, yet in the last decades, as their meat consumption has increased, so have their cases of fatalities caused by these common inflictions. Thankfully, in more recent days, the younger generations are not impervious to what is going on with the environment, the health implications, animal rights, and now recently, the perilous effects that raising livestock could have in regards to pandemics. More and more people want alternatives, and especially food that tastes like meat, since it will go well with their traditional dishes. Just want to remind everyone, once again, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my thoughts and opinions, viewed from the perspective of a historian and a teacher. So to conclude this little history lesson, guys, I do believe that we can expect an emergent market filled with possibilities, both for Beyond Meat and similar companies. This is a nation that is soon reaching 2 billion people, and with a population that is getting more and more conscious regarding health and the environment. And let's not forget, whatever we may feel about the Chinese form of government, when this government wants something to happen, it will happen. It won't only be talk. We've seen it with other environmental projects nationwide, considering their collaboration with Tesla. These men in control want an environmental revolution. They know to be able to compete in the world market, those who adapt to the new environmental realities are also the ones who will be the leaders of the future. Something that I truly hope and believe that the Western governments, their counterparts, will also emulate. A culture that is built on Confucianism, especially regarding organization, built on Taoistic wisdom and Buddhistic compassion. Now, guys, we're in for a wild ride. Everything plant-based, in my opinion, will have a bright future in China. The expansion and profitability possibilities might seem almost limitless under the right circumstances. Guys, I truly hope you got some value in this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. And if you want to continue getting these videos, please subscribe to the channel. I just want to end this with giving a shout out to my students who've been supporting me on this journey. I'm really thankful for your support and show of interest. It truly means the world to me. Peace out.